is Adas. I work in the date plantation here in Neot.
My name is Roni. I've been working in this date plantation for quite some years. My age is 65 years old, and I'm less involved in the intensive daily work, and I'm doing more of the irrigation and experimenting in our organic date farm. Semadar is the name of the place where I live. It's 10 kilometers from this date plantation, and it's 400 meters above where we are now. That's where we live, and this date plantation belongs to us. We are in Semadar 100 members, grown-ups, and we have around 50 children. And these days, in these days of war, we have with us another 100 people that have been evacuated from other places, mostly in the north, and they are invited to work and participate in our lives with their children, and we are happy to give them this opportunity. Kibbutz Neot Semadar was created 35 years ago in 1989, and this date plantation was planted 10 years before, so it's 45 years old, the oldest trees here in the Mata. 20 years ago, the date plantation was the main source of income from Neot Semadar, which means that 40 families were living from the income from this date plantation.
The structure of the kibbutz is each person works for a while in the same place, but afterwards we change our jobs. It does affect the feel of the community, because that way we can meet more people in several positions.
I will describe briefly the cycle of production of the date. If I start now in the winter, what we do is we are taking off the spikes from the palm leaves so we can work safely. Then we prune the leaves. The leaves fall, and then we gather them and crush them to create an organic layer over the sand we have here. Soon we will put compost to the trees, which means we open a trench with a tractor, and then we create compost up in Neot Semadar from chicken manure and date leaves crushed, which we bring down with trucks, and we give each tree a large amount of compost each year. Trees begin to flower. It begins with the male trees. We collect the pollen from the male flowers. After that, the female flowers start to flower. We spray the flowers of the female with the pollen we collected from the male flowers. The dates start to develop, tiny dates. Then we come in to do the thinning process, which is very important to get big dates. After the thinning, we wrap each bunch in a sack or bag, and we support bunches of the dates. And then comes the harvest, where during the harvest we have many people coming down to participate in the harvesting, quickly harvesting the dates that are ripe. The team that works here in the date plantation grows gradually during the year as the season progresses.
The majority of people that works in the kibbutz, lives in the kibbutz. It's pretty the idea if we all live and work together. Typical day here in the plantation is come to the plantation. It's not located inside the kibbutz, a bit far, like 15 minutes drive, and we arrive here pretty early in the morning, and the work we do changes every season. So we come, we work in the action we need to do with the trees, and we eat here all together, breakfast.
This area that we are in now is quite one of the safest areas today in Israel. We can move very freely, each and every one of us. In Semadar, I feel quite safe. We are quite far from the war range, not 100%, yes. One of the reasons I came to Semadar is because I felt as a young man very strongly that change is needed. The issues mankind are dealing with are so difficult and terrifying that I'm not just going to live my life happily, have a job, grow a family. No, we need to think differently and behave differently. If there's any chance that we ever end war and inequality, brutality, all that's going on calls for a deep change. I believe in peace. I have 4 sons, 3 of them took part in this war. We also believe very strongly that we must make every effort to achieve some kind of peace with our neighbors.
The situation in Israel is very sad, first of all, for me too, and complicated, of course. The war it affects everyone in multiple areas of their lives, but here we try to do the best we can to help people that was evacuated from their houses. Try to help them as much as we can, and we host them here in the kibbutz, and they work with us, and they become part of the community.
What we're doing here in this plantation of Semadar is that we're growing the dates organically, which means we're not using chemical fertilizers and herbicides. And this means that we're in the creation of these fertilizers. A lot of oil is used, and this is contaminating the underground water. So we are not using these chemical fertilizers. We are creating our own compost, and we're creating a very hospitable environment for the wildlife, for the insects, for the microorganisms. Actually, I'm involved in giving tea compost to these trees through the irrigation system to develop a system, an underground soil food web that can support these trees, which are growing organically, and they need the support. Because we're demanding, like in the modern world, we're demanding a lot from these trees. So we really need to give them support. We're not giving them through chemical fertilizers, which the results of this is not perfect. It has a lot of down pits. And we are growing this organically and giving microorganisms every 2 weeks.
תודה, גרצי.